What up people, Revan the Legend here and welcome to a top 10 list. This is the top 10 Broken Sword 1 Shadow of the Templar characters. Now originally when I was considering putting this top 10 list together, the idea was I was going to do top 10 Broken Sword characters period. But playing through the games, there's too many. There's far too many to make an overall list. Maybe after I've gone through all the games individually, I'll consider possibly doing a master list at the end. But it felt like there would just be too many people missing out. So this is a top 10 list just for Broken Sword 1, aka Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. For the sake of this list, and probably any other list that I do on this game series, I am not going to include George Stobart or Nico Collard. Don't boo me. Stop throwing stuff at your screens. I can't have them. Look, we know George and Nico are essentially 1 and 2 every game. In every game, they are in the top 2 characters in the game. That's just how it is because they're the best, because they're so well fleshed out, they're so well voice acted, they're so well written. So I'm not going to put them in because it just means that the 2 more characters will get knocked out for an obvious 2 picks. So this list will exclude George and Nico, but rest assured if they were in the list, they would be 1 and 2. Of course, George being number 1. What up, Mr. Stobart? So, without further ado, let's start off with number 10. So at number 10, we have Andre Lobino. It hurts me to even put him on this list. Hurts me so much, so freaking much, because he's so annoying. I hate this guy. But to be fair, he is a big deal. He's the first real protagonist you come across in a romantic sense, because he is clearly smitten with Nico and he knows her, he has history with her. I hate him, I hope he falls, I hope he trips and that big freaking totem thing lands on his head. My god, I hate Andre Lobino so much. But when someone generates that much hate into you, they must be a good character. So in number 9 position, we have Bruno Ostwald. Ostwald. I feel like I nailed that. I feel like I nailed it. Bruno Ostwald is in number 9. You meet him in Hotel Ubu, and he has a very iconic line about something you might or might not purchase from M&S. He's just kind of a funny. He's like a real dry character, but funny unintentionally, and he is quite significant and kind of ends up being a decent guy eventually, I feel like. So yeah, number 9, sorry, Bruno Ostwald. So let's see who we have at number 8. So at number 8 we have Pearl Henderson. Now I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Pearl. Really could not stand her the first time I played the game, but she grows on you, and spoiler alert, she does appear later on in the series a couple times. So I was kind of, between her and her husband Dwayne, but I was like, it has to be Pearl for this one. It's really hard to explain. Like, she can be incredibly irritating, but kind of has a heart of gold and is really funny, and there's something definitely weird going on in that relationship. Is he a spy? Is he? Someone tell me. I still don't know. And I've played all the games a million times. I still don't really know. So, number 8, if that is her name, Pearl.
His name's Nijo, you know.
So at number 7 we have Inspector Russo. And again, similar to Pearl before, a character I didn't like first off, but grew on me. And again, very dry, but very funnily dry. And at first I wasn't sure if he was playing, when he was going on about his psychic detection. I don't know if he was just acting or pretending, but no, he seems to genuinely believe in it, which is a bit weird, but also ends up being a bit true. I suppose, considering the supernatural ending, you have to probably assume that he is correct in his beliefs. Bit weird, but there we go. So I don't know. I don't know. He's again grew on me. I kind of find him funny. He is significant, and he is a good person at the end, ultimately, which kind of bumps him up the list a little bit for me. So number 7, we have Inspector Russo.
Times have I warned you about premature extrapolation?
At number 6, shut up now, you agree with this. Number 6, we have Otar. Now, if you don't know about Otar, he is the world's greatest luxury taxi cab driver in the world. Huh? Come on. Come on, how could you not love that? Otar cracks me up, I swear to God. It's funny, when I play the game, there's sections of the game that you kind of enjoy more than others, and for some reason, I have it in my head that when I get to Syria, apart from the ending of that section, I find that it's not a section I really get excited for. But then Otar pops up and I realise, actually, things are about to get popping. I do like Otar is hilarious. I think he's brilliant. I can't believe I got him down this far on the list. He needs to be higher up. Otar is great. As a look, number 6, well deserved, Otar. So let's see who has made it in the top 5 in the 5th position. How could it have been anyone else but Lady Clarissa Piermont? Let me tell you, right, as an Englishman, if you think that Lady Piermonts don't exist in the world, you're wrong. They do. I've seen them. I know them. I have never made love to them. Never. They're great. They're great, and she's great. I love Lady Piermont. She cracks me out. Her voice crack when she says, "Come along, George." I'm gonna have to try it, aren't I? I hope the neighbours don't ring the police. But come along, George. She cracks me out. She's so funny, and I love the sass that she gives the guy behind the counter. And that, again, if you think that doesn't exist, you're wrong. I see that all the time. I'll be there, a newsagent trying to pick up a Mars bar, and there's a Lady Piermont in front of me giving the cashier a bunch of grief, just like you see in this game. It happens. It's real, people. She is real in so many ways. So a well-deserved number 5 for Lady Piermont. So in number 4 position, I feel like some of you might have this guy ranked a bit higher, but I have Khan, the assassin, the killer, the bad guy who's not a bad guy, to be honest with you. I kind of enjoy his story more so than his character, because you don't get a lot of his character, but his story is very interesting. You get the feeling that he's genuinely doing what he feels is best. He's not. This is my interpretation of it. I don't think he's in it for the money. Ultimately, I think he does believe in the cause at some point, which kind of adds a layer to him, which has brought him up the list a bit higher, I think. I really like Cam. I think he's great. Again, not a massive amount of dialogue. Obviously, at Bull's Head, you do get a nice little back and forth, which is really fun. But I just feel like almost more for his significance, he's risen up the list. But I'm quite happy to see Khan at number 4. Let's see who has made it into the top 3 of these characters. Here's number 3. So at number 3, shut your mouths, people. You're wrong if you're arguing with me right now. We have Flobage, or as us Bristolians say, Flobbage. His name's Flobbage. What a freaking name. Look, I don't care what you say. This guy cracks me out. He's one of the highlights of the start of the game. You get to the cafe. There's the big da-da-da. There's all of this going on. You go to a trash can cat. What's going on? And then you meet Flobage, and this guy is hilarious. I think he's brilliant. He makes me laugh. I love his voice acting. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what kind of accent they were trying to go for, but it cracks me out. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And you know, spoiler alert, he does come back later on, which it kind of got me popping. I'm not going to lie, I was playing along, And then when my mouse hovered over and I saw the name, I was like, whoa! I love Flock. I just think he's hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Really funny. If you think he shouldn't be this high on the list, then you're wrong. Wrong. W-R-O-N-G. Wrong. You're wrong. Flobage. Number 3. Let's see who has now made it into the number 2 position. So here in number 2, we have Liam Maguire. Shut up, you know he's number 2. We don't know if he's 14 or if he's 40. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. He could be any freaking age. He could be 87 for all we know. Liam Maguire cracked me up so much. The first time I played the game, it was kind of that point when I got to Lochmarn and I had the conversation with Liam Maguire outside the pub. That was when I knew this game is something different. This game is something special. It just creased me up so much. His voice acting is hilarious. There's just something great about Liam Maguire. I don't know anyone can argue with me here. Even later on, he's trying to steal beer, which just creased me up so much. I don't know. Look, this ain't an argument. This is a fact. Liam Maguire is number 2. So, it's time, finally, to see who made it to the illustrious number 1 position. Keeping in mind, George Stobart and Nico Collard are not on this list. This is supporting characters, if you wish. So, who made it to number 1? So at number 1, we have the GOAT of Loch. No, frickin' no. We are not having the GOAT. Who wrote this list? I wrote it. It must be a typo. We are not having the GOAT at number 1. Let's please have the real number 1, please. So at number 1, we have Sergeant Moo. You all, I see you all shaking your heads. Like, no, not nodding, not shaking. No, shaking's no. I see you nodding your heads. You all agree with this one. Sergeant Moo is the number 1 character in Shadow of Templars. It is. He is. You know I'm right. He is freaking hilarious. I love any interaction with him at any point in the game. When you get to the point where you go to the police station, I literally spend longer there just showing Moo everything I got. I'll show him this matchbook. I'll show him my shoe. I'll show him the bunion on my toe. I'll show him that I clip my nails in a certain way. I'll show him everything. I love Sergeant Moo so much. He is hilarious. He has the best jokes probably. Possibly the most iconic jokes with the little man showing green. It can be interpreted, you know, do what you wish with that. But to me, Sergeant Moo, like when I think of Shadow of Templars and you take aside George and you take aside Nico, the character that jumps to me is Sergeant Moo. I think he's brilliant, and even though he's a bit dim-witted, I feel like you get a genuine bit of love for the guy. You feel like even though he's not the brightest, he is genuinely trying. He really is doing things by the book. He's not lazy, you know, he's not particularly bright, but he's not lazy, he's trying. And I think that's what endears him to me, and I'm sure endears him to you guys. He is my number 1 character in Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. I was going to do an honorable mentions section, but it would ultimately be me listing every character who's not in the top 10. There's that many good ones. So I'm not going to go down that road. Basically, any character you see, them. Yeah, basically them. I mean, people like Flap and Guido or Fleur, like, I just couldn't go down that road. There's too many really good ones. Screw the GOAT. The real GOAT, greatest of all time, Sergeant Moo. That's bona fide. Put it in, lock it down, build it up, cement the ting. Sergeant Moo is number 1. People, thank you so much for watching. I am Revan the Legend. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and if we get enough likes, I'm going to be bringing out Broken Sword 2 top 10 characters, and there's some good people in that. I can't wait for that. I'm ready. Thank you very much for watching Revan the Legend. See you again, and peace.